The 39 Steps, 1935, is one of Alfred Hitchcock's early masterpieces, a foundational spy thriller that shaped everything from James Bond to North by Northwest. And so, our Spy Bits today focuses on some little-known and fascinating facts about the 39 Steps, the kind of behind-the-scenes and historical tidbits most people miss. Hi, this is Dan.
And Tom.
Of SpyMovieNavigator.com and our show, Cracking the Code of Spy Movies. Let's get on to the 39 Steps. All right, here's a quick summary of the movie. The movie follows Richard Hannay, played by Robert Donat, an ordinary Canadian visiting London, who becomes entangled in a deadly spy conspiracy after meeting a mysterious woman, Annabella Smith, played by Lucy Mannheim, who claims to be a secret agent on the run. She has no seeming affiliation with any country, but is trying to stop England's secrets of air defense from falling into the hands of a certain brilliant agent of a foreign power who wants these secrets. Not because she loves England she's doing this, but because they will pay her better.
Well, now we have to realize that this is what she tells Hannay.
Yeah.
That the theater they had just come from, she says, the two men from the theater we just were at want to kill her. We have no idea if this is true. And Hannay doesn't either initially, right?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting line for her to use if she's trying to pick Hannay up.
yeah, exactly.
Never heard that pickup line before.
No. But in the movie, we do quickly find out the truth as Annabella and Hannay go back to Hannay's flat. And as he looks to the street from his flat window, he sees two men waiting.
Oh, so maybe she was telling the truth.
Yeah. Now she tells Hannay, hey, you're in just as much trouble as I am. She then
thanks,
asks,
lady.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for meeting me. She then asks if he has ever heard of the 39 Steps, or its chief, who has a dozen names and can look like 100 people. It's not Lon Chaney, I don't think, is it? Nah, okay, all right.
No, it's not Lon Chaney.
The one thing he cannot disguise is that he has the top part of his right hand little finger missing. And now she wants a map of Scotland because that is where the man she must visit next is.
All right, so we know that this is going to be an adventure because they're in London and she's got to get to Scotland.
Yeah, we got that set up.
All right.
When Annabelle is murdered in Hannay's apartment, yeah, she is, by the way, he's accused of the murder.
Yeah, she was telling them the truth.
Yeah. He's accused of this murder and must flee to Scotland, pursued by police and spies alike, to clear his name and uncover the secret of the 39 Steps. Me, I'd just be getting my tail out of there.
Yeah, exactly. Why does he have an obligation to feel like he has an obligation there? Yeah. He'd get out of there or call the cops and say, this is what happened. You were not going to believe me, but this is
or leave the country immediately. All right. Yeah. Along the way, he's handcuffed to a skeptical young woman, Pamela, played by Madeline Carroll. Terrific. Leading to witty romantic tension as they're forced to trust one another while on the run. So, if you are a spy movie fan, this is a must-see as it sets the stage for so many spy movies to come. All right, we're going to look at the original 1935 version, not the remakes in 1978 or 2008. Those never really established the original wit and seeming danger created by the situation. So we're going to jump now into the 10 things you didn't know about the 39 Steps.
Okay, and we're going to start by looking at the movie versus the novel, because this movie was made based on a novel called The 39 Steps by John Buchan. John Buchan's original 1915 novel was quite a different story. Literally.
Yeah.
Hitchcock read the book and changed just about everything for this movie. I mean, he kept only the title and a basic idea about a man on a run.
Yeah, sounds like a James Bond treatment.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, at least the best Bonds were the ones that followed the book. But this was a very good movie, and it didn't follow the book because Hitchcock invented most of the rest of the stuff here. I mean, even the female lead, Pamela, right? And the famous handcuffed together scenes, which is one of the best parts of the movie for me.
Terrific. Yeah.
They're not in the book at all. So this is Hitchcock taking a basic skeleton and building a human body out of it.
Yeah, and here Hitchcock he improvised one of the best suspense tricks there is. There's a great scene when Hannay, the man on the run, is trying to get away and sees a political rally going on. So Hannay gets up on the stage and gives a political speech while being hunted by the police to kind of like blend in and fit in and distract everybody. And this scene was largely improvised on set. Hitchcock told Donat to just keep talking like you're bluffing for your life. And it's a brilliant scene. So this is the kind of stuff Hitchcock brought to the screen that is nowhere in the novel.
Well, and the cool thing about this scene, it fascinates me because if you or I were in this situation, well, first, we probably wouldn't find ourselves in that situation. But if we did, would you have been able to do what he did there? I mean, he can see the police are there. They're looking for him. They know he's there. And he's up there talking. And it really tells us a lot about Hannay's character and how he's fast acting. You know, fortunately for him, you know, he's not a trained spy, but he had a cat-like nimbleness in how he was able to adapt to a bunch of different situations in this movie. And he had the flexibility and the intellectual strength to be able to switch gears instantly, which was very well done.
Yeah. And again, the movie, this is our first point, so the movie versus the book. The villain's missing finger was a last-minute idea. The missing finger became a clever visual clue to the identity of the spy chief. Hitchcock added it late in production to give the audience a memorable, silent way to spot evil. Very clever and very effective. And that was terrific.
Well, you say a silent way to find evil here. I looked at that scene when we first see who this guy is. And it was almost frame by frame. I went through it.
Yeah, of course.
And Hitchcock totally obscures the right hand of this person.
Yeah.
Until it's time to identify that, yes, this is the person. So there's no accidental identification you're going to make here. And if you watch it, when you're watching it the first time through, you're not even going to notice it.
Yeah.
But once you realize who it is, and if you go back and look at it, like kind of we're crazy enough to do, you couldn't see that finger until you needed to see it, which was so brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, all of the stuff we're talking about here is stuff that Hitchcock is making up sometimes on the spot. The Hannay speech, everything, terrific stuff. All right. So hats off to the screenwriters, too. Charles Bennett, who wrote the adaptation in close collaboration, of course, with Hitchcock, and Ian Hay, who contributed some of the movie's dialogue, which we think is outstanding. It really is. Sometimes dialogue limps. This is running. I mean, it's good stuff. And because Hannay is on the run from both the police and potential spies, this is a technique called the double pursuit. And Hitchcock was a master at highlighting and developing the concept on screen. Fantastic. Hannay can't go to the police for help because they're after him for the murder, and he's got to be on the run from these guys from the 39 Steps. Just brilliant stuff.
It really is.
All right, the second thing you didn't know about the 39 Steps is that the handcuff scenes weren't exactly acting. It is rumored, and Hitchcock did this a lot, it is rumored that during filming, Hitchcock accidentally lost the key to the handcuffs, binding Madeleine Carroll and Robert Donat, locking them together for hours between takes. A typical Hitchcock tactic to create genuine irritation and eventually more real chemistry on the screen. It's just like, wow.
I like how you say he accidentally lost the key. It sounds so Hitchcockian. I mean, it is just, I don't know where the key is. You guys hang out for a while.
Yeah.
And what do they have to do? They have to go to the bathroom. I mean, come on.
I know. It's just great stuff. And so it was really the first romantic forced closeness trope that we see in movies. Hitchcock basically invented it right here. So when Hitchcock handcuffed his leads together, he also invented a new on-screen dynamic, almost like a rom-com spy kind of thing. The two leads fighting or bickering under intense pressure, falling for each other while on the run as the relationship develops. All of this is happening. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So you could see its influence in everything from Charade to to The Spy Who Loved Me, and so on. This 1935 movie stretches far into the future with its influences.
Well, and it looks, when they're doing this thing with the handcuffs, it looks like the actors are kind of having fun with it too. There's an irritation thing, but there's some of it where they seem to have fun with it. I mean, for instance, when Pamela's taking off her stocking, the way they shot that scene, I'm sure they didn't think it was made to look comical, but it looked kind of comical to me because the orchestration that had to happen with the hands to help get those stockings off. I started laughing when I watched it. But then there were other times where it was quite serious with these handcuffs. So and you could tell when they were irritated. And Hitchcock knew how to augment that.
Yeah, and you have to really pay attention to the camera angles and stuff with Hitchcock stuff because what he puts in a frame, he thinks out a lot about what he's going to include in that frame. So all this stuff is just terrific. All right, on to number 3, Tom.
Number 3, the 39 Steps introduces us to a lot of what we see in later spy movies. And one of the main things is that it introduced Hitchcock's signature innocent man getting caught up in a dangerous situation theme. We see this all the time from Hitchcock. And this was one of the first times that he used the plot device of an ordinary man wrongly accused who ends up being chased across the country.
Yeah.
So very common Hitchcockian trope.
Yeah, it's a theme and structure he would return to often in Saboteur, 1942, North by Northwest, 1959, and a whole bunch of other Hitchcock movies as well.
Yeah, now he first used it in his 1934 movie, The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Yes.
But I think it's a stronger story here in the 39 Steps.
Yeah. And of course, we know he remade The Man Who Knew Too Much in 1956 with Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day. All right, number 4. The fourth thing you did not know is that the MacGuffin was born here. Yeah.
All right, Dan. Tell us what the MacGuffin is.
The idea of the MacGuffin, the mysterious object or secret that everyone is after, wasn't yet named. But the 39 Steps is really one of the first examples. The movie never clearly explains what the 39 Steps is or are until the final moments. And by then, it doesn't really matter. And again, it's very different from the novel. Very. Hitchcock used the term MacGuffin for the first time when describing the secret military formula in The 39 Steps, a key storytelling trick for spy movies ever since.
Well, and this is actually an important thing for the way spy movies get developed, right?
Yeah.
Because in almost any other spy movie you've seen, not everyone, but almost everyone, there's a MacGuffin. Yeah. It's a great technique because even though the object that's behind the story or the action that's happening, it's important for the characters in the movie, but we, the audience members, don't give a darn about the MacGuffin itself.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because that's not the important part of the movie, but the characters have to have something to pursue. And so the MacGuffin gives them a way to do that. The pursuit's what's important, and Hitchcock giving us this name and highlighting it set the stage for the last 90 years of spy movies. I mean, it's really, really, really good.
The last 90, is that right? Wow.
90?
90.
Yeah, this was 1935 or 6 or whatever, right? So
35.
It's still a good watch, and this MacGuffin thing holds for 90 years.
Yeah, man. All right. Coming in at number 5 is the train sequence. What?
Wait,
train?
A spy movie with a train?
This was groundbreaking for editing and pacing. Hitchcock used rapid cutting and rear projection to make the chase feel faster and more dangerous, years before Hollywood movies mastered this technique. And we all know what influence the train sequence has had on spy movies to come. A lot of spy movies that have come after the 39 Steps, as we know, use trains. Not only Hitchcock movies like The Lady Vanishes, North by Northwest, and so on, but look at the Mission Impossible and the James Bond movies, and so many classic spy movies like Secret Agent, 1936, Night Train to Munich, 1940, Spy Train, 1953, and plenty more. So, pretty.
We often joke that you can't have a spy movie without a train sequence. But one that I want to highlight, you mentioned The Lady Vanishes.
Yeah.
And this was Hitchcock taking this concept a few years later from when he did the 39 Steps and really going forward with it. Unlike the 39 Steps, the train is the focal point of the movie. The
Yes. Yeah.
train
Yeah. Yeah.
augments the 39 Steps and is a key plot point in the pursuit of Hannah,
Yes.
but it's absolutely required for The Lady Vanishes. The 39 Steps would work with a different type of pursuit. The
Yeah.
Lady Vanishes wouldn't.
Right. Oh, no, absolutely. All right.
Okay, number 6 has to do with the process of making the movie, not the movie itself. Robert Donat, who played Hanny, had an illness during filming, so he was sick because he had chronic asthma. And so
Yeah.
while filming, he was often noticeably short of breath. So Hitchcock, being as sharp as he is, shot around these attacks. He was really sharp with how he did this. He used these quick takes and editing tricks to highlight the fact that Donat was having issues. Now, in real life, this did affect his career. And Donat only appeared in 19 movies, including the wonderfully quirky The Adventures of Tartu, which is a must-watch for spy movie fans.
That's a great movie. That's a great
I mean,
movie. And it's a shame that he only did 19 movies because he was a terrific actor.
Yeah, he really was, because he was really good at bridging the comedy versus the serious,
Yeah.
and he did that. So we do have an episode out on The Adventures of Tartu if you want more in-depth on that one, because that's a fun movie.
Yeah, it is. All right. Also, Robert Donat's accent helped define the British spy hero. Donat's calm, witty, upper-class delivery became the archetype for the later Bond persona. Charming under pressure, never flustered, beautiful. Again, pay attention to his accent. He basically defined it for movies to come. All right, let's get on to number 7. Number 7 is something we see in almost every Hitchcock movie, his cameo. And he is in this movie too. But blink and you'll miss it. He appears just 6 minutes into this movie, tossing litter as the crowd gathers near the music hall. It's one of his earliest cameos, starting a tradition that lasted his entire career. His first cameo was in the 1927 silent movie, The Lodger, the story of the London fog. It was his third movie. So it's pretty cool.
Well, and he was creative with how he did these cameos.
Yeah.
Because in Dial M for Murder, Rope, and Family Plot, you don't really see him acting here. And in Lifeboat, he isn't physically in the movie, but his picture is used in the newspaper for an ad for a weight loss product.
Yeah.
So he's having fun with these, and he's changing things up, right? Those first 3 movies I mentioned, you just see a silhouette. And you know, okay, he's a fairly rotund guy, so yeah, that's Hitchcock, even though you don't see his face.
Yeah. I mean, Hitchcock said at one point that viewers were so distracted looking for him in the movies that he directed that they weren't paying attention to the story. So
Yeah, I was like, "Where's Hitchcock? Where's Hitchcock?" And so he did start moving his cameos earlier in his movies because of this.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to number 8. Number 8 is that the finale really is a first. Wow, a finale being the first. Okay. The Memory Man. The
Wait,
Memory
Dan,
Man.
finale means ending. First.
First is a first. The Memory Man, I'm putting Memory Man in quotes because this is, an important person. The Memory Man scene was groundbreaking as it incorporated a music hall performer with total recall, revealing the spy secret, which was a brilliant Hitchcock invention, combining British vaudeville stage acts and real espionage in a single twist. Boom, kind of like bringing it all together. It's like really a twisted yarn, tightly wound. And that's what Hitchcock kind of did here. And it's like a first.
It is, but it's interesting to me that even though the finale is this first, the concept of you're in a theater, someone's in a box with a gun, ready to try to take something else, we'd already seen Hitchcock do. So it was interesting that they took that trope from The Man Who Knew Too Much and brought it forward here, although done differently.
Yeah, done differently.
In the Man Who Knew Too Much, it was all an orchestra and things were timed to the music. Here, there's a guy on stage and he's not singing, he's talking. And so you're not trying to time a shot to the music or anything. So that was very, very cool.
Yeah, and the way he twists these things together, like I said, like a yarn, it's just amazing. Hitchcock is just amazing. All right, let's move on.
All right, number 9. Madeline Carroll was the first Hitchcock blonde. Right? We
Blonde?
know that
What do you mean?
Hitchcock liked he liked to have beautiful blonde women as his lead female. And this movie sets the template for a strong, icy, intelligent, I guess, elegant blonde. We had Grace Kelly, Eva Marie Saint,
Yeah.
Tippi Hedren. I mean, Hitchcock controlled these women's appearance, especially here with Madeline Carroll. He often personally adjusted her hair and wardrobe before each take.
For
He was the
Madeline Carroll?
director's,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
God.
No, he was the director's director, but he also ticked off some of these women with his kind of hands-on approach. And,
Literally.
you know,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I mean,
and
you know,
and
just
overly
the hair, just the hair.
overly just obsessed with the way the blonde lead comes off in his movies, and that started here with Madeline Carroll.
Wow. All right. And she was terrific. Absolutely
She really
awesome.
was.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the final one, number 10. Finally, the 39 Steps influenced every modern chase thriller, spy movie or not. The 39 Steps pioneered the man on the run across landmarks and world locations. World locations. James Bond. Hey. A formula that later defined spy and adventure and even thriller movies, not just spy movies. Without it, there's a very different Bond, a very different Bourne, Mission Impossible, and almost everything in between. It would have been different as well without the 39 Steps.
Well, and you think about how these chase scenes get altered here because of the landmarks, right?
Yeah.
Here in this movie, when he's in the train, they stop on the Forth Bridge, which is a famous bridge.
Yes.
When he's in the Glen in Scotland, you get that whole feel of, okay, this is where I am. In many other movies now, after this, you get that. They bring the environment of where they're shooting or where they're supposed to be shooting in. Think about Mount Rushmore. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Statue of Liberty.
yeah, with the Statue of Liberty. You know, you've got Hitchcock taking this concept of we've got a guy on the run, but we're not going to just have him be in the run in an individual city. We're going to show you some pretty cool stuff from the world.
Yeah. And this movie, The 39 Steps, got Hitchcock noticed in the United States and really allowed Hitchcock to make many movies in the United States after this British hit. So this really put him on the international map, so to speak. I mean, okay, all right, the United States. We're not bragging about.
We're globe trotting, huh? Good.
All right, there you go. All right, that's the last step in our Spy Bits coverage of interesting facts about the 1935 spy movie, The 39 Steps. All right, subscribe to our show, cracking the code of spy movies right now, and always be in the know. All right, this is Dan.
And Tom.
Signing off for now. Join us again. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.